bet there is.
After a leaked video of Henry Cavill's James Bond audition surfaced on YouTube, GoldenEye and Casino Royale director Martin Campbell was quick to call it misleading. It's been 4 years since Daniel Craig wrapped up his time as 007 in No Time to Die, and with no solid updates on the franchise's future, fans are hungry for any scrap of information. But with official news being scarce, a lot of speculation has taken over, and according to Campbell, most of it is flat out wrong. While promoting his upcoming action film Cleaner, starring Daisy Ridley and hitting theaters on February 21st, Campbell addressed the growing web of misinformation surrounding Bond. Given that he introduced both Pierce Brosnan and Daniel Craig as 007, rumors have been swirling that he might return to direct Bond 26. But he was quick to shut that down while also weighing in on the Cavill audition tape. According to him, the footage wasn't from Casino Royale at all. It was actually from GoldenEye. "I'm sure that's bullshit," Campbell said in an interview with Screen Rant. "Look, anything you hear about Bond, casting, rumors online, don't believe a word of it. I've been through this with 2 Bond films, and you'd be amazed at the stuff people make up. Almost none of it is true. I even saw this so-called Henry Cavill Casino Royale audition on YouTube. Well, it's bullshit. He's auditioning, sure, but it was for GoldenEye, not Casino. They make this stuff up all the time, and it's rubbish." Here's the thing. Campbell's new claim doesn't exactly line up with what he said before about Cavill's Bond audition. The leaked video was posted by a YouTube channel called Ron South, which claimed it was recovered from a movie studio's recycling bin. It's well documented that Cavill was a serious contender for the role back in the early 2000s, but Craig ultimately got the part, in part because the filmmakers wanted an older Bond. In fact, Campbell himself once praised Cavill's audition, telling Express.co.uk in 2003 he looked great in the audition. His acting was tremendous. And look, if Daniel didn't exist, Henry would have made an excellent Bond. He looked terrific, was in great shape, very handsome, very chiseled. He just looked a little young back then. But now, Campbell is suggesting Cavill's audition was actually for GoldenEye, which would mean he auditioned at just 12 years old. Clearly not possible. The leaked footage shows Cavill as a full-grown adult, and there's no known footage of him auditioning as a kid. So either Campbell got his facts mixed up, or something's just not adding up. Regardless, Cavill's name keeps coming up in fan discussions about Bond, and this leak might only fuel more speculation. That said, producer Barbara Broccoli has hinted that the next Bond will be a younger actor who can commit to a long-term franchise reinvention. So while Cavill remains a fan favorite, the chances of him actually landing the role seem pretty slim. With all the speculation surrounding Henry Cavill's supposed James Bond audition, the Bond franchise is now facing an even bigger shakeup. For the first time in 63 years, creative control of 007 is changing hands. Since Dr. No hit theaters in 1962, a handful of actors have stepped into the role of the iconic British spy, but one thing has remained constant: the Broccoli family's control over the franchise. From Cubby Broccoli to Barbara Broccoli and Michael G. Wilson, the family has carefully curated Bond's legacy for decades. But with Daniel Craig's farewell in No Time to Die in 2021 and the long silence surrounding Bond 26, things are shifting in a major way. Amazon MGM Studios, which acquired Bond distributor MGM in 2022, has just announced a major change: a new joint venture with Barbara Broccoli and Wilson that gives Amazon MGM Studios creative control over James Bond. For the first time ever, the Broccoli family won't be calling the shots, though they'll still remain co-owners of the IP. Wilson, reflecting on his nearly 6-decade career with Bond, confirmed that he's stepping away from producing to focus on art and charitable projects. Broccoli, meanwhile, shared that she'll be shifting her focus to other projects following No Time to Die. "My life has been dedicated to maintaining and building upon the extraordinary legacy that was handed to Michael and me by our father, producer Cubby Broccoli," Broccoli said. "With the conclusion of No Time to Die and Michael retiring from the films, I feel it is time to focus on my other projects." Prime Video and Amazon MGM Studios head Mike Hopkins also weighed in on the transition, expressing gratitude for the Broccoli family's decades-long stewardship of the franchise while teasing what's to come. We are honored to continue this treasured heritage and look forward to ushering in the next phase of the legendary 007 for audiences around the world, Hopkins stated. Ever since No Time to Die wrapped up Craig's tenure as Bond, official news about Bond 26 has been scarce. Sure, there have been endless casting and director rumors, but nothing concrete from Broccoli or Wilson. A Wall Street Journal report even suggested that Amazon and Broccoli had been butting heads over the franchise's future, with Broccoli reportedly frustrated by Amazon's approach, viewing Bond more as content rather than a carefully crafted cinematic experience. There was even talk of streaming spin-offs and TV shows, an idea that Broccoli had strongly resisted. But now that Amazon MGM Studios has full creative control, the brakes on Bond 26 are likely off. Expect the next Bond film to be fast-tracked, along with a wave of additional 007 content. While Amazon has expressed commitment to keeping Bond as a theatrical event, the possibility of streaming spin-offs or TV series is now very much on the table. The big screen will likely remain Bond's main home, but with Amazon at the helm, new formats for the franchise are all but inevitable. Of course, the biggest question remains: who will be the next James Bond? Actors like Aaron Taylor-Johnson, Theo James, and James Norton have all been rumored contenders. With Amazon now leading the charge, an official casting announcement may not be far off. Bond is still one of the most valuable IPs in Hollywood, and Amazon will undoubtedly be looking to maximize its potential. For fans frustrated by the lack of movement since No Time to Die, this could be great news. 007 is back, and probably in a bigger way than ever. However, there's a risk that too much Bond could dilute the franchise's mystique. One of the reasons Bond films feel special is their rarity. The gaps between movies build anticipation, making each new installment an event. If Bond starts showing up in multiple spin-offs, TV shows, and other media, it could diminish that exclusivity. The Broccoli family has always been selective about how Bond is handled, but with Amazon in charge, their meticulous approach may give way to a more aggressive expansion strategy. What that means for the quality and identity of Bond remains to be seen, but one thing is certain: 007 isn't going anywhere, and fans should brace for an entirely new era of James Bond storytelling. In an interview with Screen Rant, Cleaner director Martin Campbell addressed whether past Bond contenders should be reconsidered. He dismissed the idea, stating they are all too old, emphasizing that Bond actors sign on for 5 films, making it ideal for someone in their mid-30s. This aligns with franchise producer Barbara Broccoli's stance on casting a younger actor for longevity. This effectively rules out fan favorite Henry Cavill, who, at 42, previously auditioned for Casino Royale. Other rumored contenders, like Tom Hardy, 48 by 2025, are also deemed too old. While rumors suggested Taylor-Johnson had been cast, nothing has been confirmed. With Campbell and Broccoli's criteria narrowing the field, the search for the next 007 remains focused on actors who can lead the franchise for years to come. And that's all we know about the upcoming movie. Thanks for watching, and if something more comes out, then you'll know it. We will keep you updated, and so if you just give us a thumbs up to my channel and hit that subscribe button, we will appreciate that much more. Thank you for watching, and we will see you in our next video.